Good morning again, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And I think we have a few more guests coming in that will slip in. But at this time, we would like to go ahead and start with our program because we do have a very special reception planned after our program with the students in the Media Center. And in the Media Center, we have some many yearbooks I think a lot of you guys will find very fun and festive to look at, along with a reception with food and a time for you to mingle. And then also student-led tours within the school and then outside in our garden. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And good morning to all, and what a wonderful crowd on this celebration. And I'm Beth Elliott, the very proud principal here at Windsor Elementary. And looking around the room, I see lots of folks that I have known for many years, along with new friends I've made since I've been here at Windsor. And we would like to give a special thanks to all of our community folks. I see a lot.
Good morning, the Wildcats. My name is Julian Roman here with Beverly Holton, Cameron Cunningham, and we're here with the pledge and a moment of silence. With the pledge, please stand. Attention and salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now in Spanish.
Prometo lealtad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos y a América y a la República y a la defensa de la nación hacia Dios, el siempre, con lealtad y justicia para todos.
Please remain standing for the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please know that as we learn and grow, we will continue to make a difference and make the world a better place. Welcome and welcome back.
Thank you. At this time, we would like to invite Dr. Franklin to please come to the stage to help us to recognize some of our special guests.
Good morning. I have the privilege of recognizing some friends and supporters of Windsor. When your name is called, please stand. We'll begin with Representative Beth Bernstein, House District 78. Members of our school board, our chairman, the Honorable Mr. Craig Plank. Vice Chairman, the Honorable Dr. Monica Elkins Johnson. Secretary, the Honorable Dr. Cheryl Caution Parker. And to other board members, the Honorable Mrs. Lindsay Agostini. And the Honorable Mrs. Amelia Mackey. Also with us is our Superintendent, Dr. Baron Davis. We have some members of our executive staff present, if you would stand, please. We also have visiting us a friend of Windsor and Richland too, our sheriff, Mr. Leon Lott. And by request, he brought a couple friends with him, Captain Harry Polis, and two faces that you may recognize from A&E, Cat Team Deputies Kevin Lawrence and Chris Mastriani.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our music teacher, Mr. Arvano, and he is going to bring a second grade class to the stage. This is Ms. Barley's second grade class, and they're going to present to you, this is something in history, they're going to present to you the Windsor Song. So help me welcome our second graders to the Windsor Song. Give our second graders another round of applause. Very well. Now at this time, it's my pleasure to welcome our featured speaker. Our featured speaker brings to the plate a couple of unique qualities, but one, the reason why we chose her is she is a former Windsor student, and I think she'll tell you a little bit about that. But now for the past 10 years, she has been a teacher, a value teacher here at Windsor Elementary. So help me welcome to the stage Ms. Jennifer Boone, who is one of our ESAL teachers and another address to all of us. Help me welcome Ms. Boone.
Became a teacher because I didn't really want to speak in front of people when I grew up. So you'll have to bear with me. And Miss Elliott introduced me as Jennifer Boone, and I have had wonderful pleasure teaching English for speakers of other languages here at Windsor for the last almost 11 years. In my educational career, I've been a lot of things: a wildcat, a parrot, a warrior, and a Viking. After graduating from Spring Valley, I became a phoenix. and then later a husky and a lumberjack. But as an educator, I've been a bee, a star, an eagle, and a wildcat. All of these experiences have helped mold me into the person that I am today, but none have had so great an impact as the wildcat. I started kindergarten here at Windsor in the fall of 1988. This was my picture from the first day of school. Miss Douglas, who I had the wonderful surprise of seeing is here today, was my kindergarten teacher. And I loved every minute of it. We wrote books. We shared bits of our lives through our show and tell, and played together during our half-day classes. My most vivid memory, however, was not actually at school, but it was the outbreak of chickenpox. I even wrote a book about it. I won't hold it against you. It missed it on the New York Times bestseller list in the late 80s. And I brought my book with me today. First grade was a new adventure as well. I don't remember quite as much about it because I missed a bunch of school from tonsillitis. I do, however, remember gluing angels' heads to their bodies while the rest of the students were outside at recess. The highlight of that year was narrating the Three Piggy opera in the old cafeteria with Dr. Greg Owings as the big bad wolf. I promise you, we have video evidence, but it's somewhere buried in my mother's attic and I couldn't find it. When that year ended, I attended my brand new school, Pontiac Elementary, where Mrs. Elliott was our assistant principal. The rest of my school career was spent in Richland School District 2, where I received an amazing world-class education. I went on to Elon University to study elementary education, where I realized just how special my formative educational years had been. When it came time to get a job after college, I knew I wanted to come home to Richland too. I wanted to work in a place where children are encouraged to grow, where they're more than just a data point, and where the community is a family. I taught at Lonnie B. Nelson and Sandlapper, and then the opportunity arose to teach at Windsor. I had almost forgotten about attending Windsor since it had been so long ago, and when you're 24, everything seemed like forever ago. But as soon as I walked into the building, I had little snippets of remembering. Mr. Jeffcoat walked me to my new classroom when I joined the Wildcat family, and little did he know that the ESOL classroom in 2007 was my first grade classroom. That year, I had little flashbacks every day. Where the day I remembered where I hung my backpack when I was 6 years old, the day that my mom usually signed my homework, and the day that my dad did. My teacher, Mrs. Rayleigh, thought that I had forged it. And I've moved a lot around the school in the 11 years since I've been here, but I'm back home in that very special room, 602. Windsor Elementary School is a very unique and special place. Our students work really hard, and they're some of the most caring individuals I've ever had the pleasure to meet. The staff here is amazing. The talented group of educators is dynamic, outgoing, and caring. We watch out for each other and have become more than just colleagues. We're a family. Windsor Wildcat students are proud, open-minded, and community-driven. I can't imagine what these walls would say if they could talk. 50 years of molding young minds to be prepared for the future is amazing. This building has produced some incredible individuals and will continue to do so as a part of the Richland 2 family. In my years here at Windsor, I've taught hundreds of students. Some are now in college, some have joined the workforce, and I teach little brothers and sisters every day. I love every minute of it. Except for the paperwork and the testing. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to say during the celebration, it occurred to me that While I'm a teacher and I teach every day, my students have been the best teachers for me. My students have taught me phrases in several different languages, including Vietnamese, Twi, and Micronesian. I have learned repeatedly that families come in all shapes and sizes. But perhaps the best lesson is that the world has a lot to offer you, if only we take the time to listen. Most of all, if you are true to yourself and treat others how you want to be treated, just like Mrs. Elliott tells us every morning on the morning show, you'll never meet a stranger. A lot of changes have occurred since I joined the Wildcat family in 2007. We've had 2 principals, many assistant principals, 4 different district superintendents, countless textbook adoptions, and more end-of-the-year assessments than I'd like to remember. But one thing remains the same: pride. I am proud to be a Windsor Wildcat. Happy birthday, Windsor. In welcoming our assistant principals, Mr. Jonathan Abney and Ms. Cheryl Creel. Good morning, I'm Cheryl Creel.
And I am Jonathan Abney. As we continue with our anniversary celebration, at this time we'd like to recognize some of our honored and celebrated guests. At this time, could I please have any former Windsor students please stand to be recognized? And now, any former faculty and staff members? And then for our former assistant principals who have remained standing.
Now to recognize our past principals, Dr. Jean Crow, Mrs. Billy Horn, Dr. Greg Owings. And here today, please join us on the stage. We have some principals who are here today. We'd like for you to join us because we have a small gift for you from Windsor. So if you come on up. First, we have Ms. Sue Millette. Mrs. Jane Fancher. And Mr. Eric Jeffcoat. If you would, please take a moment and give all of our former Windsor staff members a round of applause. Thank you.
And now we'll have a selection from our 5th grade choir led by our 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Anderson.
While our 5th grade choir is coming up, we also wanted to share with you guys that we were able to get in touch with some of our former principals and that we spent a home visit. Dr. Jean Crow, who opened Windsor in 1967, Miss Gibson and I, along with someone a lot of you in the audience know, my mother, Miss Pat Thomas, who is sitting back there, arranged a visit. And so we were able to spend time with Dr. Crow And we would just want to share one thing with you that talks about how in the teaching and learning profession, as it was stated by Ms. Boone, it is a family, and it's like coming back for a reunion. And Dr. Crow, at 94, looks wonderful. She wanted to join us. She's joining us in spirit today. She only lives a couple of blocks from the school, and she said that the highlight of her afternoon is when she's sitting on her glass porch. She watches the school buses go by, and they count the school buses. She and a lady that helps her out, and they count the school buses and talk about the memories of Windsor Elementary. So I wanted to share that story from Dr. Crow. Thank you. kind of energy that we have each and every day. Help me give our 5th grade choir another round of applause. Thank you guys, good job. It is now my pleasure to introduce, to help wrap us up, our Richland II District Superintendent, Dr. Baron Davis. And as Dr. Davis talks with us each and every week, that kind of energy and that kind of focus and that kind of caring is what we want to see throughout our district. Help me welcome Dr. Baron Davis.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, it's indeed a pleasure to be here to celebrate Windsor's 50th anniversary. Since 1967, Windsor's doors has been open and has been a place where students, parents, teachers, administrators, board members, all of our community has come together to share in a communal spirit to educate and provide an education for our students in Richland School District 2. It has served a vital role, and I couldn't think of a better week to actually have this celebration. Because as many of you know, this week is American Education Week. And American Education Week was set aside back in 1921 to highlight the accomplishments and also spotlight some of the challenges that public schools may face. And some things have changed since 1921, some things have actually changed since 1967. But some things have stayed the same. Some of the things that have changed, I know our students may not know this or not, but back in 1967, I'm sure we were using typewriters. Today, we're using Chromebooks. We were using encyclopedias to find information. Today, we use Google, Siri, and even Alexa will tell us anything we need to know. But one thing has not changed, and that is the importance of community. And the Windsor has been a beacon of what community should look like for the last 50 years. It's evident in the stories shared by former Windsor students that are now here teaching in our school district, in the school, in their same classroom. It's evident in the former principals and assistant principals who have served as leaders in this district. It's evident in the family members who have sent multiple siblings to the same school. Community is important. It shows that there's a shared responsibility for the raising and the education of our students. And when we have community, there's strength and there's power. Because we are together. And many of you know the story of the old man who was on his sick bed, and he called his sons to his bed as he was dying to give them some parting words. And he gave them, his oldest son, a bundle of sticks. And he said, break this bundle. And the son, big and strong, full of confidence, attempted to break this bundle of sticks, but he couldn't do it. And so he passed the bundle to the next oldest son, who again tried. And then to the youngest son, who thought that he had learned the lessons from his older brothers, but was also unable to break the bundle of sticks. And so the father in his wisdom asked the young man to untie the bundle and gave each one of them a stick, and then said, break the stick. And all three were successful in snapping or breaking that stick. And so he looks at his sons and he says to them, the moral of the story is simple. If you stick together, it is impossible to break you. But when you're separate, you're easily conquered. So the ideal is, as a community, if we stick together and work together and support one another, we can achieve anything we want to achieve. As a school, as a community, as a state, and as a nation. But we must continue to remember that there's strength in our communities. And having schools like Windsor, all of the schools in Richland School District 2, having parents like the parents that are here, having leaders like our board members and our elected officials, having administrators and teachers who are committed to keeping strength in community, I'm convinced that we'll see another excellent 50 years of Windsor at Windsor Elementary. Thank you so much.
Help me thank Dr. Davis. In closing, again, we would love for all of you to join us for a reception in our media center, followed by some of our student-led tours. And as Dr. Davis said, what a wonderful way to celebrate American Education Week. In this room, not only do we have a lot of former teachers and staff, but a lot of community members that shows that strength. We have, as we recognize, we have the sheriff's group here, we have our homeowners association in here, we have Rotary Club in here, we have volunteers in here. We just have a group that cares so much about Richland too. And while we watched our students singing, whether it was our second graders or our fifth graders, we know that that is our future for tomorrow. And it does take all of us to support and to make sure that our schools continue to be the best and to be all that we can be each and every day. Please join us at this time for refreshments and again to view some of the history of Windsor Elementary. And again, special thanks to our staff. And I know that we have Ms. Knox, Mr. Willie, Mr. Brown in the back. If they would stand and wave too. They were here last night making sure that the building was ready, along with a lot of other faculty and staff and our students. Help me again celebrate all. Again, thank you for being here, and we hope to see you in the media center. Thank you.